welcome to the next edition of AtomicErgo. I am your host, Earl-Ray Neal, and we are privileged to have with us this afternoon Monick Anderson. She is, listen, I'm an entrepreneur. An ergonomic entrepreneur is the way I would describe her. Monick has a BS from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and we were just talking. She does live in Las Vegas. She's a graduate of Howard University on their occupational therapy program. She has a doctorate of occupational therapy from Howard as well. She's a certified ergonomic assessment specialist from the back school. And one of the first things that we want to get into is that she is the founder of Flow Ergonomics. So we'll start talking about that. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, doing the best. I'm so thankful that you can take some time out of your schedule to join us and talk with us about your new undertaking and sort of where you see your place in the ergonomic field. So, I just went through some of your educational and your professional certifications. Obviously, you're very successful in your field, and you've had a clear focus on health and wellness. So I guess to get things started, tell us if there was somebody in your life that motivated you or what, led you down this career path.
For as long as I can remember, I've always been active, really into health, wellness, fitness. In high school, I played sports all throughout high school. Even till this day, I'm still very much so into the wellness, fitness. So I knew that whatever career path I chose to go down, it has to have that wellness piece to it. Um, so what led me down to occupational therapy? I was at UNLV and I declared a major in kinesiology, but I still wasn't quite sure which avenue I wanted to take. So it wasn't until I actually met an occupational therapist, and she gave me more information about what the field entailed. So after that, I did a little bit more research, did some shadowing, and that's how I ended up getting into occupational therapy.
What led you to dedicate, your career to ergonomics?
Well, I was first introduced to ergonomics in graduate school, and then I had a fieldwork rotation and hand therapy. And we see a lot of patients and people who come after injury occurred. But it really wasn't until I became an occupational therapist. I worked in many different settings, even though I've only been a therapist for a few years. So you really get that firsthand experience how important ergonomics and injury prevention is. I've worked in hospitals, I've worked in schools, different offices, and so you really get that firsthand experience how important ergonomics and injury prevention is. It's very, very, very important.
So I called you just a few minutes ago, an ergonomic entrepreneur. I think I just made up a new term, actually. Steve will probably have that trademarked or something before the end of the day. So you've taken this courageous step in your career to be an entrepreneur in the ergonomic field. That is something that we love at Ergonauts. OTs are certainly the perfect fit for somebody that's interested in ergonomics. So how did you decide to hang your shingle out? How did you decide to start Flow Ergonomics? And that's the name of it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Tell us about Flow Ergonomics.
Well, I started flow ergonomics because I noticed there was a need. Through all I kind of combined all my experiences back to how I got started in ergonomics. I did have a service learning trip to Africa. So that international trip, you got to see another side of how people, interact in the workplace. And there too, I saw how important ergonomics is and injury prevention, because ergonomics is literally everywhere. So I noticed that there was really a need. So when I started Flow Ergonomics, I was really specific how I wanted to go about it and market it. Because a lot of people hear the term ergonomics, but they may not really know what all that entails. So I wanted to create something that was really good for education. So I really use my page, my social media for educating all people how to be safe and how to do things safely.
And have you taken up a space on social media for Flow? And can you tell the folks that are listening how they can find you and ask questions about Flow if they have them?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn, Flow Ergonomics. The name is still the same. I'm on Instagram, Flow underscore ergonomics or Flow underscore Ergo. That's my Instagram. And I have a lot of different educational posts there. So you can go there and hopefully learn something new.
Okay. We so at the Ergonauts, we invest a ton of our energy in trying to get the message out that there's an aging workforce. There's 77 million boomers that are reaching the retirement age, and if you think about it, that's at the rate basically of one boomer every 8 seconds, or almost 11,000 a day. And it's what our CVO considers to be a workforce crisis. So we're trying to get the message out that with an aging workforce, there's going to be an increase in workers' comp claims filed because of lower extremity injuries or illnesses, and because folks are getting older in the workplace, and those injuries can be caused or aroused as a result of that. Are you seeing any evidence of the age-related illnesses in your practice?
Yes, as many of us know, carpal tunnel, arthritis, those are really, really, really big ones. A lot of hip injuries due to falls, either in the home, on the job. We see that a lot. Those are the main ones that I really, really see. And other repetitive ones from just static posture or repetitive injuries. We see those a lot too.
I think in the industry, most folks that are watching seem to have a focus on upper extremities. Why do you think that lower extremities are given less attention? If you agree with that statement.
I think many focus on the upper body because we see a lot of the neck, the shoulder, the wrists, those repetitive upper body injuries. But the lower extremity is just as important. You see a lot of trips, like I said before, those hip injuries, ankle injuries from improper lifting, and doing things improperly on the job. So I think the focus is more so on the upper body, but there needs to be a focus on the whole body. It's holistic.
So one of the neatest things about the Atomic Ergo podcast is that it's sort of fallen into a niche where there are a few professors across the country that are showing the podcast to their classes. And that's really, frankly, not something that I really contemplated when we first started this. So using this as a platform to talk to younger folks that are just at the very beginning of their career, what suggestions, direction, advice do you have for those folks?
I'll say do your research. Go to different conferences, whatever conference you can find. I think that's a good introduction, and that way you get to see, you get to network with different people, you get to ask questions from people that's already in the field. So I think that's a good start to see if it's really something you would like to do. And it's always good to have a mentor. If you can find a mentor, that's awesome.
Oh, I agree with that. So especially if you're in the Las Vegas area, look her up. And do you have a physical location that you've moved into yet, or tell us what your setup is, so to speak.
Not so much a physical location. I am based here in Las Vegas. So if someone needs like an assessment or anything done, then I'll just go out to them.
Okay. All right.
And I would
So
love to network. So if anybody is in the Las Vegas area, I like to connect. I like to network. I like to talk. Please contact me. I'm
I will tell you this. You know, we have a tremendous following on social media. So this will be posted on that, and hopefully, folks, there'll be some links. Check down below, folks, for the links to get directly to Monique, and so you can contact her, and especially if you're in that area, or if you'd like for her to speak at conferences or attend conferences, that would be fantastic. So I know you're on the front end of this, this business adventure. And you may not have given this much thought, because a lot of times folks really don't think about it until somebody asks them directly. So I love to ask this question: what do you want your legacy to be? What, in life, in the health and safety and wellness profession, what mark do you want to make, Monique?
That's a really good question. Um, I really want to be known as someone who tried their best to help other people. I'm a lifelong learner, so whenever I learn something or, educate myself on something, I like to share with other people. So I want to be known as someone who tried their best to help someone else. Tried to keep, the world safe as best as I can.
And that is a perfect segue into the last question that I ask folks. We always ask if you have a favorite charity or any particular organization, and I think that you have identified one. So if you would like to tell our listeners a little bit about that, and encourage them to check that out.
The boys and I have two. The Boys and Girls Club of Southern Nevada. I love the kids. So of course that was an easy one for me. They've always been in the community for as long as I can remember. Another local one is called Whalers Creation. That's another local charity here in Las Vegas who help foster kids, find mentors, housing, shelter, clothes, whatever you can name. So I think that's a really, really good one um, to add in and to donate to. Really, really good charities here. Another up and coming one, small, small company, small business,
Right.
nonprofit. Yeah.
Right. Well, folks, that'll wrap up our time with Monique Anderson. Monique, it's been wonderful getting to know you and hearing about Flow Ergonomics. She is a occupational therapist and the founder of Flow Ergonomics in Las Vegas, Nevada. So check her out. Again, check down below for the links, how to contact her and to learn more about Flow. Again, I want to remind you also, in the links below, feel free to comment. Tell us what you like about the programming, what you don't like about the programming. If you have any suggestions about topics that you would like us to cover here on Atomic Ergo, we'll be more than happy to consider those. And that'll wrap it up. Again, Monique, thank you so very much for your time today. It was a true pleasure to get to know you and to hear about your new undertaking, Flow.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Well, come back in a little
Well,
while and tell us, how you've grown, and some of the things that you're interested in moving into next, because it's a process, that's for sure. So
is, and I would love to. Thank
yeah,
you so
oh,
much for having
you're
me.
you're welcome. All right, you all be good to each other, and that'll wrap it up for this edition of Atomic Ergo. Until next time, everybody, have a good day.